Okay, I've had a lot of interruptions trying to make this video. I was actually coming down to the lake to do a walk and talk, and beautiful lake, and wind was coming up, clouding up, so that wasn't going to work. So I'm sitting in my truck and my wife calls, and now we're going to meet to eat. But I said I'm going to take a few minutes to make this video because I think it's important and it's on my mind right now. So while it's fresh in my mind, I want to share it with you. By the way, hello everyone, my name is Jeff and I'm over 50. Actually, I'm 55, and I just look at things in a different perspective sometimes in life. I like to eat, and I like to live indoors, so I will work for food. When I was growing up, I was taught that you work for what you get, what you have. And then when I got a little bit older, I've heard this saying that if you do something that you love to do, you'll never work a day in your life. Well, I didn't understand that when I was younger. My parents were raised on a farm, and they picked cotton and they did all that kind of stuff when they was growing up. And my dad left home when he was 16 years old with a 6th grade education, and the man has done well for himself. My mother has been a hairdresser for 56 years. So she was actually a hairdresser before I was born. And that's what she's been doing. She gets up every morning and she drives about 25 miles to a shop she owns. Why did she drive that far? Well, she didn't always live that far from her shop, but she moved across the street from me. Her and Dad did. So the shop is still in its original spot, so she drives there. So to get back to, doing what you love, you'll never have to work a day in your life. Well, I was, like I said, raised you work for what you got. And me and my dad actually had this conversation a few years ago. And we just worked because we knew we had to put food on the table. And we had things that we had to supply for our family, and so didn't know any difference. We worked because it was a way of survival, it was a way of life. We didn't work for, just because we wanted to, and I still don't work just because I want to. Now, would I have picked a different career when I was younger if I would have had a different mindset back then and maybe taught a little different or something? Yeah, I probably would have. I started out being a concrete finisher when I was 10 years old, and I had to work hard in that. And then I grew up in that. That's what Dad did for a living. My uncle had that business, so that's what I did. I thought that's what I was supposed to do. I paid for my own truck, paid cash for it when I was 16 years old. I should be a millionaire by now, but I didn't know how to manage money. I still live paycheck to paycheck. I didn't know how to invest money in the right way, or any way, to be honest with you. I put money in the bank and savings account, but I was young making money, so I went through it. So I never did understand that concept, of saving money and working a job that you truly love. Now, I did find a career that was better for me. I got out of concrete work and I actually went work in a school system as a custodian. And now I work for the state as a custodian. I mean, I've always worked for the state, but I work for college now, and I make more money doing that. And so the cards that, were dealt to me in my career, and a lot of y'all were like this, you worked because that's what you knew to do. And I tell my kids this right here, while you're young, educate, get educated, learn, find what you want that to do. What is your passion in life? And I use this saying to them, when you get irons in the fire, what I mean is you get married, you have kids, you've got responsibilities of things that tie you down, and it's harder to change jobs. It's harder to further that education or whatever it may be. My daughter came to me. She done a 4-year degree. Me and her mother put her through college, debt-free, paid for her apartment and everything. And she wanted to change her major. She graduated with her degree, but that's not what she wanted to do. She's not married, still living at home, living on college campus. And I told her, and y'all may not agree with this, but that's okay. But I told her, I said, okay, your mom and I have helped you out these 4 years. You have worked a job on weekends, summer, and different things. And it's on you now. You're completely debt free, but any further education you want to do, you're going to have to pay for it. You're going to have to get an apartment. We're paying insurance on your car and different things like that. And you're 22 years old, so it's time that you step up to the plate in that. And I'm going to make sure that the girl has a place to sleep. I want to make sure that she has food on the table to eat and different things like that. I'm not going to let her suffer, but I've got to teach her, life's hard and these responsibilities is, yours now. And so in saying that, if you're a young person out there, find out what that passion is. Learn, get educated. Yes, a job is to put food on the table. Yes, a job is to prepare you, to have a comfortable life, or have a way for you to have a comfortable life and different things like that. But go out there and learn about what you really want to do now. Don't just go work just to make a paycheck, or just for whatever reason where you can, buy that expensive car, that expensive house, and lug yourself down with that. And I'm not going to talk about being in debt right now. Maybe I'll talk about that a little bit later. But it's just my perspective on things now that I'm older. I look back, and I would have done things a little different. But I am where I am with that. And I don't really have any regrets in that. I think it's a way that I can, maybe help other people look at that thing a little bit different in their life, the way I didn't look at it. I know I kind of rambled on with this. I've got on my mind that I'm going to meet my wife to eat right now, and this video, the way I'm shooting it, is not exactly the way I wanted to, but I hope the point of this comes across. Testing for wind blow. Testing for wind blow.